Welcome everyone once again to another night of ESEA Open Season 24. Two North American teams tonight. iBuyFlower, Team Ferocious Bear. Took a few nights off to go down to the Santa Ana Showdown and cast down there. Had a little bit of an issue yesterday, so I couldn't cast due to the ESEA client page having some issues with the new updated server listing. So tonight, first night since Friday, I've casted some ESEA and picked the names that looked the best and actually had people in the server, which, is more difficult than I'd like to imagine. But going down the list for Team Ferocious Bear, we've got Heli, Confusion, A Savage, Wheaties, and Striker. On the side of iBuyFlower, which is an amazing team name, I have to say, we've got Deadshot, Rumbaba, Cal, Squid, and Skyways. Now immediately, we're going to see a very heavy B stack as 4 players go off that way, and Rumbaba's going to watch top of mid. Pretty default positions for the Ferocious Bears. And actually, not the rush I had quite imagined for Team iBuyFlower. Had a fast little run over towards the B side, but they've all moved right over to mid. Looks like they're going to smoke off CT. And Squid is going to be the first player in. I believe they may have heard shots fired out, but they're going to move right in, and Confusion is going to get the first kill of the match as he takes out Deadshot. Skyway tagging up the player a little bit. Rumbaba answers back with the first one, but Heli and Confusion pick up one of their own, and second for Heli as Skyways goes down. That's going to be the sole player who was holding up at mid. Rumbaba is going to get the first. Heavy damage over on Team Ferocious Bear, but Rumbaba has a lot to do on top of that. Does have this P2000. He might want to go try and salvage one of those USPs. Bomb has been dropped over on the B site, though, so Rumbaba even more stacked up against him right now. I like this slow play, though. Coming up from Cat. Scoping out the A-bomb site, trying to locate any of the players that might be lingering, but all 3 players, unknowns to him, currently... Ooh, spots out the first. Beautiful shot by Rumbaba as Confusion was just trying to hop up there, feeling a little bit safe with just his upper chest exposed. But he's going to go down. It's going to make this all the more likely, but only 18 seconds left on the round. Rumbaba, you got to go in there and get this now. The players separated absolutely perfectly. One by B Halls, and Striker is going to spot him out over the boxes and take him out. 2 players remaining in the round for Ferocious Bear, and their firepower is looking quite heavy right now. Wasn't a bad play for the iBuyFlower side, though. Mixing it up a little from the typical B rushes that we'd expect for the first round of T-side on Dust 2. Which, by the way, Dust 2, I'm so happy to see you. May have been taken out of the rotation in the professional leagues for Inferno, but still active in the ESEA Open division. And I'm just happy to cast anything except for Nuke after I believe I casted like 12 of those matches last week. Anyways, into this round. 2 players over towards long A. Cal's going to get tagged up a little bit from that grenade. They're going to spot the player out. Pretty standard buy, except for the 2 scouts on the side of Ferocious Bear. iBuyFlower deciding to go in with only Glocks and a single ounce utility. First player is going to go down, though, followed by a second as Deadshot and Skyways go down. Confusion picking up a beautiful little headshot with that scout on Cal. And off-screen, Savage puts down the 4th player. Once again, Rumbaba, sole player left alive for this team, tags up the player a little bit, but Heli is going to win that battle as the FAMAS whittles him down. Ferocious Bears string the first 2 rounds together of this match. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a buy in this. They didn't get any bomb plants, so it's going to be quite weak. Scout picked up 2 Galils, a UMP, and a sole AK-47 on Rumbaba. But he's got a good knife, so he has to be decent with it, right? So that works. I wouldn't know because I'm only silver and I don't have a knife. But anyways, triple stack for the CT side over by long A. Only 1 player holding there on the terrorist side. And actually, Confusion going to get tagged up. Looks like that was through the door. He's going to get put down to 54 health by the scout. I believe that was Deadshot. iBuyFlower deciding to play this a little bit slower as they have invested in the round. Player holding over by Dark Halls on the upper B site. Looks like we might have somebody peeking in soon. They're going to smoke off the B-bomb site. Interesting. That'll protect him from anybody peeking on window, but he seems to have a read that Wheaties might be here. Footsteps may have been heard earlier in the round, but Cal takes the peek, and he's going to move right on back. Meanwhile, Savage might be the first point of contact right here. We do have a player moving up, but yep, Skyway's going to take him out. Cal, after they get that pick, he's going to move on in, spots at the player on default. Manages to actually chip him down a little bit until Deadshot gets the kill. As the rest of the team moves up from long A, it's going to be player advantage in the hands of iBuyFlower. 5v3. Everyone's a little bit chipped up, though, and Helly is about to make contact with Cal on the catwalk. Manages to get him down. He's taking out a 9 HP, but Squid's going to trade that right back, finishing the job off. And it looks like, are they calling for a save right now? It's a little bit early to be saving these weapons. 1 M4 and a scout, but they are heavily damaged. And through the wall! Beautiful little shot by Confusion. He's looking damn dangerous with this scout. Absolutely brilliant stuff by him. It does look like they are going to get away, and I don't believe iBuyFlower is going to go hunting for these weapons quite yet. Though as I say that, Squid decides, oh, he didn't spot out the player, 4x3, and Potshot's going to get taken out as they do spot him. He's looking for him, but not willing to commit completely to it. Good stuff all around for Team iBuyFlower. Let's see that scout shot once again as these two CTs retreat. Making sure they're okay over there. Back up, spot out the player, and through the top of the railing, through the top of his head. Very good stuff. But back into this round. Flashbang over the wall, as there is a triple stack over here. Read pretty well, but he's going to spot out all 3 of them. Takes out one before he's answered back with that grenade. And Savage, meanwhile, I believe that was over towards the, where was that? That had to be over by mid. Because only one player went down by long A for Team iBuyFlower. And Baba, very, very good spray down. Takes him right in the head as Confusion managed to whiff that. Rumbaba lived with 100 HP. Helly peeks into halls and takes out Skyways, and now has the location of the bomb in his hand. Striker, these teams are looking great with the scouts so far. I was watching them play around in warm-up. Team Ferocious Bear is going to answer right back. Team iBuyFlower flubbing their second round opportunity. So that's going to reset their economy immediately. They have the money to do a light force-up. I'd like to see some Tech 9s, and yet the first one comes in. Deagle picked up on Skyways, as well as Deadshot, who in warm-up was looking amazing with the Deagle, living up to his name. I'm looking to see some more out of him. Looks like Savage is going to get boosted up on the catwalk, which is actually the perfect play right now, as it looks like at least 3 of these players are going to be headed that way. Make that a 4th, as only Squid is going to hang back. And, oh, missing a little bit of the damage right now as Savage gets dinked and has to move right back. Confusion trying to answer back a little bit of damage and gets the first kill of the round and putting down Rumbaba. Molotov's going to come out. Smoke is going to allow these players to safely back up as all of iBuyFlower actually goes back towards the top of mid. One player coming down from B halls to meet up with them, and they're going to have to reassess their plan with this force buy. Once again, just upgraded pistols, no armor on any of these players. One of them actually gets chipped down right through the wall. Looks like Savage is going to peek right in, but Deadshot, like I said earlier, going to put work to that Deagle, take out the player, but traded right back as Striker picks up a 2K, taking out Skyways as well. 2 players left on the side of iBuyFlower. Barely any damage done to the side of Ferocious Bears. Really, all you really hope to do with these pistols right now is do a little bit of damage to the economy. And Helly and Striker moving up right now. One gets spotted out, but Helly's going to get the shot. Last player alive for iBuyFlower is going to go down. Quickly spotted out at the top of mid. Striker picks himself up a 3K, starts building that bank up to $8,000 in the coffers. As I say that, Coffin Stuffer, thanks for stopping by. I've not seen you in quite some time. iBuyFlower, though, after that last loss and the slight investment of the previous round, they're going to have AKs across the board, decent utility, full head armor. Confusion did salvage one of those AKs, so we'll see how dangerous he can be with those. Once again, on the side of Ferocious Bears, 3 players moving up on long, but nobody home. Nobody even watching the doors. As we do have 2 players up in the B hall, 1 lower and 2 moving up mid. They're going to be holding up close on double doors. Looks like Wheaties and Confusion, who has been playing here with that scout. He has upgraded it, though, and he's going to go down. Rumbaba getting the opening pick of this side. They're going to smoke that off, and a little bit of grenade damage. Not going to do a whole lot, but he is getting tagged up. Wheaties kind of overstaying his welcome there. And they do have the read. There were 2 players in mid, which would let them assume that at least one is going to be on B, and the rest of these players in iBuyFlower are going to rotate over there asides from Rumbaba, who's going to hold down mid. Seems to be the lurker on this, but actually I like this. 1 player remaining up in B halls, while the rest of the players rotating around. 55 seconds left in this round. They're going to push on out over towards long A. Their first point of contact is going to be Striker, who's sitting over here with a scout still. They're in round 6, and he's sitting on with the scout. He's going to get flashback. That's going to give him a little bit of information, but actually this is kind of a fake. They're moving over towards Catwalk. I like how these guys play, but 35 seconds left in the round. They need to get some opening picks immediately, and Helly pushes forward for some information after this flashbang comes out. He's going to get punished for it. They've opened up the B bomb site, and once again, the second pickup on the Wheaties, and they've gone full circle, and they're going back over towards that B bomb site, as the bomb has 18 seconds to get planted, but they have a free and open bomb site. 2 players left alive. Make that 1 as Cal takes out Striker just as we switch over to him. It's going to be 1v5 for Savage. There is no way he can do absolutely anything with this. He tries, though. Deadshot going to take him out. iBuyFlower pulling it back. Looking a little bit stronger. You know, some interesting plays on these rotations. I really like it. These guys are looking absolutely solid. And I didn't mention this earlier, but iBuyFlower actually only 1 win, 1 loss for the season. Ferocious Bears, who kind of had a strong opening, lost 1 and then brought it right back. They're 0-2 in this season, so we'll see what they do with it. And this is going to be a nice long A stack for the T side. Spotted a single player, and that they might know that they've been playing pretty heavy on this. All 3 players, they start going back a little bit. Striker can't quite get out of there, but he is going to be put down by Squid. Wheaties feeling a little brave. He did expose himself a little bit. He's going to smoke that off, slow down these players a little bit. Meanwhile, Cal is actually the, I wouldn't say lurker, but he is watching that mid side. Wheaties going to pick up 1. He's going to even this out just a little bit. Savage spots at the players, gets a Molotov down, just slows down the player or 2, but Cal, oh my god, goes right in. Takes out 2 of those players. Great aim from him. Confusion, though. He's up on Catwalk. He spots out 1. Bomb has not been put down yet, but they do have it in their hands. On the bomb site is planted. Confusion picks up a kill on Rumbaba. 2v3. It's slightly more in their favor now. A little bit of the HP whittled down from iBuyFlower. Confusion at half health, though, and he has been spotted out, so it's all down to Helly to take advantage of this small little unknown. Deadshot holding the angle. Squid watching for long. Deadshot spots it out. Confusion getting a little bit of distraction play. Flashbang's going to come up from Helly, but it's now 1v3 as Confusion did go down, and Squid's going to take him out. Solid stuff. Nearly gets knifed by his teammate down to 7 HP. Let's take a look at that double headshot by Confusion. Yep, that was where the nade came out. Oh, it was Cal. My bad. Cal just peeks right out. Little 2-tap and a small little burst fire. Picks up those 2 kills, but it wasn't quite enough. Oh, sorry, it was. Still thinking about Confusion. I'm confused myself, but looks like a very similar play. 3 players over there. Ooh, he gets tagged up. Wheaties was an op shot through the wall. He is lucky to be alive. Deadshot, though. Going to take that info, move on back as he hears these players piling on in. He does have a player to back him up, but it's going to be all him as 3 of these players start pushing in through doors, heavily tagged up as 1 goes down, then re-peeks it. Wheaties very brave, but really they don't have a whole lot to lose right now. Meanwhile, Bomb is actually going solo over towards the B halls. Interesting to not have a player there with him, but he is going to rotate towards mid. Squid on the side of this door. I do not believe he spotted out Confusion. They're going to smoke that off, though, and possibly go up Cat. That's what it looks like. Rumbaba gets a kill off screen. He was taking on 12 HP off of that. Wheaties at 12 HP. That's not Wheaties, that's Confusion. Cal's going to put him down as well with another. He is looking so strong. This is the player to watch on this team. Spot the player out in CT. It'll be the last one to go down for this round as iBuyFlower. They bring it 4-4, tied up almost immediately. Good stuff by this team. Now, with the money looking a little atrocious, I hope these players don't invest in anything more than upgraded pistols, and that does look like what's going to happen. Really, I believe they've lost the past 3. Yeah, they don't want to go in right off this. Plenty of money next round off the back of these pistols. Confusion, I can forget the outbuy. Bob actually flashes himself, but Savage was just as flashed. He's going to get the pick, though, as he was running. Cow spots out Confusion, who has that scout. He's been lethal with it so far. Actually, there's an amazing little flank going on right now. Striker, he's in there. He spots out the player. He actually dinks him, or it looked like, but he can't get the kill off. That was horrible. Good attempt, though. I like the aggression, the play, trying to salvage this round back, but spot out the player doesn't look to be a bit hesitant. Sometimes trigger discipline can go too far, but Confusion, look at that shot! Oh my god! Switches it out for the AAK. But immediately gonna get put down, dead shot. Nice AWP bullet right to the chest. I want to see that shot again by Confusion. Immediately gets the info, checks his flank, scopes right back in. And God, he is so good with that. So good. But in this round, Ferocious Bear, they've got plenty of money. They buy right back into it. Striker's going to pick up the AWP for the first time on Ferocious Bear. Interestingly enough, not Confusion, who's been so good with that scout, but maybe that's more up his alley. Right now, iBuyFlower has a good read on this since there was upgraded pistols last round. They know they had that 3-loss bonus. They're playing this a little bit slower. Just peeking out for any sort of aggression, but Ferocious Bear, they are lying in wait. They are hibernating right now. One player holding ramp on long A. Another player over there, it's Confusion. He's going to be holding down the doors, and only one player over on the B bomb site. He does hear that flashbang go off, though, so that might pull another player over into rotation. But it does look like, actually, they're going to back up long A. I believe that must have been, Savage. Saw some flashes over on his side, too. Weedy's actually going to spray down through the smoke. He's going to take out Rumbaba. Ellie spots out the shoulder, backs off with the information, and, oh, he narrowly missed that spray, but he's going to get the last bullet he needed before he goes down. He's going to bring that right into the hands of Ferocious Bear, or the paws. Let's get some animal puns going on here. Squid sees the flashbang. That's going to let him know there is a player that they're going to smoke that off, though, and I would imagine the spray's going to come through. Confusion, he's going to push right through this. Gets the headshot on the first bullet. Great stuff from him. He's looking so good off screen, though. Deadshot's going to trade that back elsewhere. Deadshot with a second. And they had the bomb here. They can at least get a bomb plant off this. He spots the player, gets the third! Deadshot carrying his team through this round right now as they had a horrible player advantage. It was a 3v5 to begin this. If Ferocious Bear lose this, it's going to set them back horribly. They're going to get hard reset if they can't pull this. Right now, both players, one up on window, has not been heard. Actually, he did make a little footstep right there, so Skyways doesn't know he's coming. Looks away at just the wrong moment. They spot each other. Shots are ringing out, but Deadshot's in the perfect position right now. Spots out the other player. That's 4. And he get the ace. Whiffs the shot. He's going to get mollied off a position right now. Wheaties does have the defusal kit. He's going to stick it. No, he doesn't. Pros don't think. Deadshot picks up the ace. Amazing work with this. Oh my god, and his bank is built up. He is at 13,300. iBuyFlower, you need to be picked up immediately. I'm loving this. Cal and Deadshot looking god tier. Ferocious Bear, after that loss, they're going to be on nothing but armor. Actually, head armor picked up as well in Confusion. That's the player that should have it, though. They got 3 players over on that long A, but there's a lot of players coming up from the T side as well. 2 are going to get traded out, but Savage evens it out a little bit. Rumbaba evens it out once again. And actually, off the back of that loss, so much action in such a short time span. That was nothing but pistols. These guys salvaged them up. 2 AKs and AWP, and they're going to buy right back into this with full utility on all of the players. How quickly things can turn around. Ferocious Bear dragging themselves right back into this within 1 round, 5-6 against iBuyFlower. I knew I was going to flub that. Looking at the team name, I had saw them last week, and I'm like, I know that if I cast that game, I'm going to screw that up. Ooh, interesting little boost right here. Which player is that? I'm guessing it's Confusion. Yep, he's watching Cat. There are no players there right now, so not really going to pay any dividends, but interesting nonetheless. iBuyFlower, they had plenty of money to reinvest in this as well, so they're going to slow play this ever so slightly and maybe talk about what happened wrong in the last round. Another smoke's going to come out from the CT side as they did smoke off Cat. This could actually pay off now. Smokes are starting to fade. Cal is about to peek out. There's no way they have a read on this. Dodges the flash. A striker falls out from under him. That screws up Confusion's aim, and both of those players are going to go down. Heli answers back elsewhere. Skyway's going to get taken out, but 4v3. Ferocious Bear up against all odds right now. 1 player versus 3. Gets the tag off. Doesn't take a single point of damage from Cal, but he's going to get put down by a Squid. 1 tap from the AK, and it's going to be a heavy, long rotation from Team Ferocious Bear if they want to try and fight this. And it's going to be curious if they want to. They're going to get smoked off from CT right now. And the second player from Ferocious Bear is actually right behind him. And I think they're going to save this. You know what? They won a round, picked up some weapons, going up against 3 players. They are peeking out, but no, they elect to save. I think that's the right decision right now. Because just winning the last round off of that huge loss, they'd get reset immediately. The money, they actually could drop some weapons, but it would be a little bit risky. You know, at moving around 13 and try and go for 3 more rounds, maybe bring this into an 8 and 7. That's kind of their best bet. You know, I can't really fault them for that. Slightly T-sided map over here on Dust 2. And iBuyFlower looking pretty strong. So, very wise and Ferocious Bear. They're going to have an interesting buy next round. They'll have decent utility to go, though. When actually, it looks like iBuyFlower is going hunting. Savage misses the op shot, but he switches out to that P250 and takes down Squid. Squid's got plenty of money to buy right back into this. iBuyFlower, they could go for broke the next 2 rounds and still have enough to buy into the 15th round. Okay, maybe it's a little bit wrong. Not completely full utility. Looks like Striker is going to be lacking in that department, but 1 smoke, not too shabby. Meanwhile, once again, 3 players from Ferocious Bear moving on over for Deadshot. He's going to punish that peak and actually gets the second. This guy is unstoppable. He got taken down to 18 HP. He didn't even move, did not budge. He just put right through the wall, right through the shoulder, and takes that player. Heli holding up close as these grenades do come out, as Squid's trying to make some noise and really sell this. He's going to push right through the smoke, and he's going to get put down. But there are some players over on Cat. Did he spot the shoulder? Ooh, he tags up the player, though. Did go through the ground. Rambaba's going to follow up that damage, take out Confusion. Skyways, meanwhile, over there on Cat is going to take out the player that was behind boxes. And that was Striker to go down. Suddenly, you've got a 1v4. Players are chipped up, but I don't know if Heli can really capitalize on this, but you know, it's round 13, your money's going to look a little bit bleak. He gets spotted out immediately, and a player comes over through mid, and Cal's going to put down Heli. It's going to be an 8th round for Team iBuyFlower. Money is so bleak, but you've got to force into this. You really do. Round 14, you've got 2 left. You could try for the 6th round on CT's side if you save, but really, are you going to bank on that? I would not. Looks like upgraded pistols for 4 of these players. Armor on Confusion, so they really are saving it all for the next round, but it's going to be dangerous. Meanwhile, come on, Auto Director, save me! Rambaba's going to take out those 2 players pushing up on long. Evenly divided on this T side. There is a little bit of aggression up Catwalk. I switched away at just the wrong time. Sorry about that, folks. Squid going to take out Heli. 2v5 with a USP, P250, and 1 set of armor. Oh! But they do have the bomb. This is kind of doable. 2v4, Confusion in a great little lurk spot, and these players have no idea where either of these other players on the CT side are, except for maybe Striker, who does go down just as I try and switch to him. He gets peeked by Deadshot. With Confusion, here's the player, and he's going to get put down, and Ferocious Bear, suddenly it looks a little bit more understanding why you guys are 0-2. Looking really shaky that round with a very questionable buy in a round that you could have forced up in. Even if you had lost that forced buy, you would have still had enough money to get a half-decent buy into this round. With Savage sitting at 7,500, could have dropped over rifles to at least a player. NP7, what is that? That was a misbuy. Suddenly you're lacking utility. That misclick just cost you so much if you're going to go for any sort of retake. And these guys were looking so good at the start of the round. But anyways, interesting setup. Actually, it looks like Ferocious Bear kind of a little tilted right now as they had 2 players moving towards long, then backed up a player, and not quite certain where their players should be right now. Anyways, though, Confusion going to be the first point of contact. He's going to go down, traded right back by Wheaties, who actually picks up a 2K before he's put down by Squid. Even numbers now for both teams, 3v3. Ferocious Bear has a lot of information on where these teams are going to go. They do have a sole player holding out over here on the B side. That's going to be Heli, who has done a decent job holding it solo, but Savage is going to get flashed out from long. Actually, Bomb is rotating back towards the midway. And actually, it's going right back towards T-spawn. Squid gets heavily tagged, down to 5 HP as he exchanges damage with Savage. And actually, Savage read that perfectly. Bomb is going to Kobe him right off. And he was spotted up by a mid player who backed up through the lower B site. And these guys have free entrance. Gonna smoke off doors. They're going to get a free plant over here by boxes. Would expect Skyways to go back towards the hallway. Let's see, what does Cal have? Cal's got the AK as well. He's going to be watching halls. Skyway going to tuck himself over behind car. 3v2. They do have a kit, though. Actually, 2 kits on 2 of these players. redundant statement. Savage going to get the first kill. Striker pushing on in, spots out the player. Ferocious Bear going to bring this 6-9. Very, very weak CT side, but you know what? It's not horrible. Definitely could be better. I'm hoping these guys have a dedicated set of strategies over here on the T side. As Ferocious Bear looking a little cranky, woken up from hibernation, they're going to take each other out in this warm-up round as these halves are divided by this little bit of time they could talk things over. Ooh, dead shot, as I said earlier at the beginning of the map. He is lethal with that deagle. We didn't get to see too much of it. I think he only got 2 kills. Actually, may have just been 1 during one of those force buys that Team iBuyFlower had. I really couldn't say what Team iBuyFlower, or sorry, Team Ferocious Bears was doing wrong on the CT side. I think they may have had too many people over at long. That's like my sole criticism. Confusion was looking solid holding mid, and Heli was looking pretty solid over on B. They didn't push it too much, and no heavy stacks, but he usually got the initial kill and was traded right back out. But I think they're just stacking long too much on their CT sides. And while that can work against some teams, Ferocious Bear, Team iBuyFlower, was not... I think they maybe had 3 rounds entirely in that entire half that they went long. And they usually only went 2 players, except for 1 round. So, anyways, into this round, Deadshot is actually getting sniped with this Glock. And, wow, escapes with 1 HP. So a little bit of information was spotted. They know 2 players are over there on that B side. And Ferocious Bear playing this one slow. 1 more flashbang. They decided to go with mostly armor here. And that flashbang is going to let them to peek up into Catwalk. Striker pre-firing. Not a bad idea, but they are going to give away their presence as Cal moves back towards Cars. Gets the first shot, but he's going to get put right back down. As Savage takes him out. Skyways answers right back, though. Rambaba, meanwhile, takes it to the player and lures Skyways with a second beautiful little headshot. And suddenly, Ferocious Bear... you are getting put right down. It's all up to Heli in a 1v3. Barely any damage done to iBuyFlower, and he is spotted out immediately. He was trying to get towards that bomb, but it got dropped from Catwalk, and Skyway is going to pick himself up a 3rd. Beautiful little taps by this USP work. Skyways looking strong. Now the question is, does Ferocious Bear force into this? And that they will, as Tech 9s are bought. Savage, interestingly enough, can pick him up a scout. See more and more of that. These second rounds. Can't hurt too much. He's going to sit back with that over by T-spawn with the rest of his teammates. They're going to work their way through B. They are playing it slow, though, not making any sorts of steps. And Squid tucking himself away by Car. Deadshot. He was playing headshot box, but he looks like he wants to hold a little bit closer right now. It's actually both him and his teammate. Maybe he's going to get flashed in off this. He does have his back turned, but oh my god, Squid picks up a 3K with that UMP. Great stuff. I thought there was going to be a pop flash in for his teammate, but who needs it when just the shots come out like that? Suddenly, just a 1 versus 5. Savage, can you do any sort of damage? Yes, you can. He's going to get the headshot up on the Skyways. He looks a little happy with himself as he wiggles his mouse around wildly, but he's going to get put right back down as he tries to rotate over towards that long A side and pick up any more kills. But Ferocious Bear losing the first 2 rounds of this half. It's looking absolutely dire for them. It was an accidental pun, I swear to God. I just realized what I was saying halfway through that. Ugh, I'm absolutely disgusted with myself. Anyways, back into the 3rd round of this match, of this half. That pun, it's thrown me. I'm tilted. Striker, he's going to be the first to see this player. I think they spotted him out. Rambaba, though, answers right back from that damage. They're chipping away at these players. Team Ferocious Bear. It was a full eco, though, full save. Striker gets 1 kill. A lot of damage done, but can't follow up on it. And going to move right into... the 18th round, 19th round, there we go. Never do math live on stream. That is my pro tip. Ferocious Bear. After those 3 losses, they are going to be able to invest in this. Almost full utility. Meanwhile, we've got Deadshot over there with the AWP. He's looking for any players peeking, but on this round, Ferocious Bear not holding any of these scopable rifles. slow playing it. Ferocious Bear might be expecting some aggression. They're holding back pretty far, and looks like Heli was exchanging a little bit of fire through the angles of that hallway, but both players are going to back off. Heli rotates down to lower. Meanwhile, 3 players holding up at mid with the bomb. Looks like Striker's holding over there by doors at long A. Bomb is going to be dropped back as some of these players are going to get aggressive. Actually, they're going to get mollied right off. And Heli, he's going to take out Squid as Squid got a little bit aggressive over at B halls. But when you lose a player, you've got to get aggressive on the CT side, and Rambob is going to do just that. He spots out 2 of the flashes, knows 2 player locations. I think he may have seen the head for just a second as Striker rotated up towards that B side. There are 2 players up on the B for the CT side. Rambaba, falling through the air, decides to wait till he lands, and he's going to get punished for that. Savage is going to put him down. Wheaties, come on, Auto Director, work with me here. Trying my best to throw through this, but, ooh, they know where Deadshot is, so he's going to get put down. Skyway's all alone. I think he's going to pick up this rifle and run off. Probably worth the save as he has $0 in the bank. His teammates do have money though, so they can drop over some rifles for Deadshot and have a decent buy into the next round. Ferocious Bear clawing their way back into... Oh, maybe not. Skyways can't save it. Ferocious Bear gonna put their first win on the side of this T side, and iBuyFlower, I believe it's gonna be their timeout. I can't actually tell, as it doesn't tell me. But I would assume on the back of that loss is going to be iBuyFlower's timeout. Now, they have the money. Might want to talk about what went wrong in that round, because they were looking absolutely undefeatable on this CT side, but things just went absolutely wrong. Lost that first player who pushed into B halls, and lost the second aggression from Catwalk. And Ferocious Bears capitalized off of it very quickly. Timeout is going to be off, though. Very quick. I like that. Makes my job easier to fill dead air. And they're going to buy into this. Not too bad of a buy. Skyway's relegated to a FAMAS. Horrible utility on 3 of these players, but if you get the kills early, you don't even need to retake, so let's see what happens. Ferocious Bear electing to go a little bit slow. Striker actually picked off a player. I believe that was Squid, who was over there on that B bomb site, was answered right back, as Deadshot's going to take him out. Sadly, we missed that action, as I am relying mostly on Auto Director. I'm switching between these players myself as much as I can. And I'm so happy it's not Nuke. Oh, contact's going to happen as Heli. I believe Rambaba spotted him first, but only a couple pixels. Heli is going to punish that. Smoke is going to come out. Some flashbangs over here on Catwalk. Are they just making noise, though? That is the question. They had 2 players up by long A, but I think they're trying to sell this A play. Yep, looks like another flash might come out from Wheaties. He decides against it as he's just going to push into these halls. 2 players from iBuyFlower over there on the long A site. Looks like Deadshot is reading this well. Nope, Skyway's got aggressive. I wouldn't do that just then. 3v4. It's a tough decision, but he did make it. And he's punished for it. Deadshot going to get spotted out. Confusion puts him down clean. Did not take a single bit of damage from that, I don't believe. I do believe. It's been a long work day. And it's looking to be a long work day for iBuyFlower, as Cal would have to fight this 1v4, but after this reinvestment on the back of a loss, Cal's going to have to save this M4 and move into the next round, as Ferocious Bear is looking to put an 8th round on the board and narrow this gap between these 2 teams. The bomb ticking down, I'd kind of expect Ferocious Bear to go hunt this, but Cal is far enough away at this point where he doesn't really have to worry about this. Looks like we'll be moving into the next round without any further ado. Pardon my French. Let's see, money, yep. It's abysmal. They do have the round lead to maybe upgrade a couple pistols. They get 1, make that... Nope, that's not 2, it's a P2K. Ferocious Bears, though. Full utility, and I'm surprised they haven't played this round more aggressive, or any of these rounds, actually, that they've won off the back of. Molotov's going to come out. That's a little strange, as I don't believe any player could have got there fast enough. And that was spotted out by Skyways. Meanwhile, I'm going to line up a smoke. That'll be for Xbox. Rumbaba might be the first point of contact here. There is a player moving over towards B Halls on the CT side. He's going to be boosted up for the time being. Fusion boosted up here, and Rumbaba actually gets taken out as he peeks that door. But once again, auto director failing me. Didn't look like that was going to happen as quickly, but Striker, he's going to take out Skyways. Even that right up. Molotov is going to come out for Carr. Good play because Deadshot's right there, but he's not actually being tagged by it. They're not going to know where this player is. He might actually have the opportunity. Has the trigger discipline, spots at the second player, and he's going to... What? What is going on? He actually has the amazing trigger discipline. He waited for 3 players to go by before he tries to act on it, but managed to only take out 1. Auto director decided we need to look at something else. I should have just stayed on him. My bad, guys. But Rumbaba, he's in a situation that's completely doable. 1v2. One is slightly tagged up, but Ferocious Bear, if they can spot at this player, they do have a bit of utility to ward him off. Rumbaba, though, absolutely no utility, and he looks to be saving this. He might go and scavenge one of those AWPs that was dropped, if he can find out where it was dropped. Doesn't seem like he's going to hang around mid too fast, though. He is going to be in flight, going back towards that B-bomb site. Rap God. Rap God. Ferocious Bear getting themselves a 3rd in a row. They were looking pretty shaky on that CT side, but looking a lot better over here on the terrorist side. iBuyFlower, though, they need to start putting some rounds on the board, and they know it, so they're going to buy it right up into this. Deadshot picking up the AWP. Let's see if we can make any sort of magic happen up here on mid. Although, wow. Looks like all 5 players, they are going to be going aggressive, barreling out here. Once again, I'm so sorry about that pun. That was completely unintentional, I swear. All 5 players, I don't believe they've been spotted out yet. Looks like Confusion will be the first to spot out any of these CT players. The AWP does ring out as Deadshot has rotated up towards Catwalk. He's actually going to get aggressive up there. Deadshot gets a kill on the 1 player lurking. 3 of these players are going to be moving up, make that 4. Flashbangs are going to come up from their own team and push them back. Confusion expecting another little pop flash as he swings around 180, but Skyway's first point of contact on the A-bomb side. Gets 1, gets 2, gets the 3rd. Beautiful stuff by Skyways. We saw him do this once earlier, but it was looking a little shaky early. Ooh, Deadshot going to be taking down a Striker. The sole player for Team Ferocious Bear versus 4 others. Skyways is heavily tagged up, but this AWP, it does not really matter. Hit the shot or not, unless it goes through a wall, you're going to take out that player. And I guess if it goes through a leg, but he's about to get jumped on as 2 players are moving in through long A, but they do have the bomb in their hands for Team iBuyFlower as it's dropped on site. So these 2 players, that's Rumbaba and Squid, they're just going to hang back through doors and make sure he doesn't try and do anything. He's getting really aggressed on that from long A. Here's a player, and he's going to get shot right in the back as those sounds ring out and distract him. For iBuyFlower, their reinvestment pays off, only losing 1 player. And a pause is finally going to come out from Team Ferocious Bears. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Let's take a look at that replay from that triple kill from Skyway. Here's that flashbang came out from his own team, which really, yeah, you expect another flashbang to come out. And that really just disoriented Ferocious Bear. And then Skyway, when you hit shots like that and that, spot out the 3rd player, make it a triple. Good stuff. And while Skyway could have hit those shots either way, it was really that one flashbang that set everybody back. And, you know, a little bit of confusion. Have your back turned, suddenly you don't feel as confident hitting those shots, and you don't know where all your players are on the opposite team. So, Ferocious Bears, they're going to get put down right there. iBuyFlower getting their first round, I believe, in this half. Yeah, that's going to be the first one, I believe. So, extending their lead 13-9. That was not their first one, as I showed on the scoreboard right there. First 3 were actually picked up. It was the first one in 3 rounds is what I meant to say. Freeze time is undone. Ferocious Bears electing to go back into this. AWP picked up by Striker. 3 AKs and only a Glock for Headley unless somebody has dropped something for him that I can't see yet. Okay, he has been dropped a rifle. He's going to pick that up. Striker spots at the first jumping. Gets the shot on the dead shot. And they know it's going to be a nice open B bomb site. And smartly, Team iBuyFlower, they're going to get aggressive up on Catwalk. Rotate the other player by CT because Squid was the sole player on that bomb site. He's going to put down a meteor on Baba. Beautiful little shot right there. And actually picks up a second. Striker was kind of overstaying his welcome in T-spawn. It was kind of an interesting play, but he was just looking for those rotations, so you can't really fault him. It's going to be 3v3 now. Ferocious Bears. They do have the bomb down, though. Get a nice kill. It's going to bring this more into their favor. Team iBuyFlower. They do have kits, though. They do have players. One over on the B doors. One up on rocks. They're not saving this, are they? They're saving this already? I mean, the money is bad, but yeah, they would get a full reset right now. They're going to have a horrible, horrible buy in the next round, but they do pick up a second AWP, so it's not horrible. You let Ferocious Bear get 10 rounds on the board to your 13. I can see the decision. Can't fault them. How's the money looking for Team Ferocious Bear, though? It's built up. They'll be able to throw an AWP into the hands of Striker. And actually, Striker has the God spawn over there, but he has to have the weapon thrown to him, so not going to be able to capitalize on that, what I do call the God spawn. Wheaties is going to pick that up, actually. Interesting. Looks like the AWP has been, juggled around. And as I say that yet again, Striker is going to pick it up. Coffin Stuffer, I think you might be right. And really, I'm confused why Confusion doesn't have this. And I didn't mean to say that. I don't make puns intentionally. Most of the time. But Confusion has been looking god tier with that AWP. I want to see him with this sniper rifle. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Except for the fact that they're thinking to play this one slow. Yet again, this is how they've looked except for one round on their T side. And interestingly enough, they've dropped the bomb all the way back at top of mid. And I think they just realized that as Wheaties is going to go pick that up, because they had moved up through Catwalk, and they're actually going to have a real difficult time, as there are 3 players over there on this long A site. Rumbaba playing up by sight. He's going to Molotov that off in case any players come right through. This might be a fake. Yeah, they throw up the utility, and they're going to double back over towards the B halls, which is the best player right now, as there was a player over on car, up on A side ramp, and ramp down by doors of T side. So still making noise. Savage really trying to sell this, but we're going to have some players moving in as Striker and Confusion walk past that player over there on top of boxes. Cal manages to get the kill over the top of the smoke. He's going to take out Confusion, gets player advantage inside of iBuyFlower. Wheaties answers right back, though. Nearly shoots his teammate. Deadshot here in CT spawn to back up the player. See what happens. Striker picks the first off, spots the player over there on double doors. They're going to get chinkered up a little bit as they get shot through that door. iBuyFlower. Oh my god! Striker, that was dirty. Takes out Rumbaba. Savage follows it up with Cal, and suddenly it's up to Skyways in a 1v4. And a horrible little round for Team iBuyFlower. They are suddenly looking very shaky. Their confidence has been completely annihilated. So, once again, iBuyFlower trying to save an AWP for the next round. Their buy is going to be absolutely abysmal. But they can throw this over to Deadshot, as he is their mid player, and see if he can make any magic happen with it. We've seen him do it in previous rounds, but right now, this gap has been closed to 2 rounds as Ferocious Bears are pulling it back. Striker has the AWP on the side of Ferocious Bears. We'll see if he can do what he did last round and take out Deadshot quite early. Spots the first player and actually legs him through the door, taking out a 51 HP. I believe that's Deadshot. No, it's Squid holding mid right now. Looks like he was expecting to pop flash over that. Oh, Skyway's actually holding up close on the long A site. As soon as Heli pokes around doors, he's going to spot it, but Savage is going to answer right back, taking out Cal and opening up this bomb site. Rumbaba is there, but Savage gets the kill. Good stuff from Ferocious Bear, staying strong, keeping the player advantage in their hands, and they also had the economic advantages. Nothing was bought except for a couple upgraded pistols. 1 armor on Skyways. What's, I believe, Deadshot holding up close, spots at the player, just missed that. Confusion and Striker, they're right there on the opposite side of this. I believe that's Squid still holding up on mid. All these players are going to rotate. Squid pushes them through doors. Weed's going to put him down. Now 2 players left alive on iBuyFlower. They have picked up an AK that might just want to salvage that into the next round. Some players are heavily tagged up, but iBuyFlower, they don't have any certain way of knowing that, and yet they are going to escape back towards that A site and carry this AWP, which is all they've managed to save for 3 rounds now. Maybe Deadpool can do something with it in the next one, you know. 3rd round is the charm, at least in hopes and dreams. Let's take a look at the scoreboard from Baba. Up 21 kills in this half. Once again, these are, I believe, the kills in this half. I can't remember if the ESEA fixed the scoreboard or not. I would kind of hope the scoreboard bug is still glitched, as, yeah, it has to be. Deadshot and Squid have done more than 4 kills this entire match, so can't really believe what we see on the kills and deaths here. Alright. iBuyFlower, they have to force up in this, as Ferocious Bears have the potential to tie it up if they win this round. Scavenged AK, scavenged AWP, 3 M4 spot out the first player, spots out the second. Meanwhile, Skyways, he was moving up long fast, decides to throw a nade in there, and actually heli, and it's heavily damaged up. Steadshot, though, I believe he got boosted up into Cat. He's going to finally make the AWP put to work. So, finally, first kill of the round goes to iBuyFlower. They have player advantage for the first time in, I believe, like 4 rounds. So, Ferocious Bears, they decide to move all their players up towards mid, and they are being a little bit wary as there has been some aggression up catwalk, but right now, not a single CT player there. Going to rotate the bomb up into B halls, though. I'm not sure if Savage has spotted out that player, but Squid is holding up close. He's going to be greeted by 2 players from the CT side, but over here, looks... Oh, I missed it. Heli gets the first one. Wheaties gets the follow-up. Savage gets the other one. Suddenly, that player advantage melts away and falls out of the hands of Team iBuyFlower. And they've got to be kicking themselves right now. They had their first opportunity to really win a round, and once again, they're going to be saving. This AWP is cursed. Deadshot, please. Just throw it away. Just go chuck it over the side of a wall. It's clearly not helping you. You get the opening pick with it. That's the first pick I think you've had with it from 3 rounds. Just, that's a cursed Asimov, but... On top of that, Rumbaba, who has been the heavy fragger for Team iBuyFlower this half, he's going to hold on to this M4. But guess what? This T sides, they're going hunting. Bears have become the hunters. A little bit of chip damage out on their striker. He's going to whip around, pull up the Tech 9. No need for an AWP when you can do that, but Rumbaba elsewhere trades it right back out. As he's being hunted, he gets spotted out at mid. Rumbaba is going to go down, and they salvage nothing. They have nothing going into this next round. They can get a force buy, and really they have to, because it's 13-13. It's been tied up. Ferocious Bears, they may have been shaky on the CT side, but they are looking great on this terrorist side after that. And I think that, yeah, like they lost the first 3 rounds, and they just came right back. I think they've lost 1 amidst this flurry of 7. Looks like they're going to be playing this one pretty fast over towards the B side. 1 player holding up a mid, 1 player from T spawns running down suicide, but Savage is going to be the first player in. And there's nobody on this B side. They completely stacked A, and Savage, you know, he's gonna burn himself up a little bit over there off of his own teammates, Molly's. iBuyFlower are spiraling. You were correct, Coffin. Would you call this a throw? Skyway spots it out, and he looks a little bit slow. What is his ping? That almost looked like a ping issue right there. He decided to wait, not give away his position. I'm really confused by that. He was Heli, holding this lower bomb set, looking for the lurk. Takes out the player. Meanwhile, on site, Confusion got Deadshot put down. 3 players. Rumbaba answers back. Skyway spots out the player, gets the kill, brings us back an even player advantage, but it's going to answer right back by Wheeze, and then answer right back by Squid, or vice versa. But, you know, that's all they can do, and they actually lose a player who was too close to bomb site. Squid is going to be the last player alive with his AK. They do have enough to finally get a real buy-in, and Ferocious Bears, they've got the lead for the first time this match, I believe? I can't remember exactly. I think the first half, they had the first 3 on CT side, and then was answered right back by iBuyFlower. So, for the first time since, I believe, like the 6th round, they are in the lead. Let's see what they can do with it. Heavy, fast B play. As this is an all-out rush, Cal makes the first point of contact, gets the first kill before he goes down, traded right back by Confusion. Cal did pick up a second before he was put down. Deadshot gets the 3rd. Ferocious Bear, this fast play might not be paying off for them. They do back Deadshot off with 10 HP, but they're going to at least get a bomb plant out of this. Not that they have much to worry in the way of economy. But Striker puts a couple shots up through window. That Molly is going to ward them off. Deadshot going to Molly off box. Actually, that Molly bounced just a little bit awkwardly. That's going to actually ward them off. They do... Oh, whoa, whoa. I think Rababa, yeah, jumped up there on the Molotov, but Sky was going to peek and get the first and the second. iBuyFlower bringing it right back. Going to tie up the rounds 14-14. This is an excellent match suddenly. It's going to be down to the wire. We might see an overtime. I'm kind of expecting it because, yeah, I believe Ferocious Bear has the money to buy into the next 2 rounds that they want. iBuyFlower, they could get a force buy next round if they lose this, but they've got money to invest fully at the moment. It's all speculation, but I feel an overtime coming. Double AWP. This is the first time we've seen this on, oh, no, they did salvage the double AWP before. This is the first thing they've intentionally bought it. Looks like Deadshot is going to be pushing up through long A. Ferocious Bears is deciding to slow play this. 3 players at the top of mid right now. We do have Heli down by lower halls. And where is that second AWP? That's Rumbaba who is holding that. He's holding at the top of A site right now, watching Catwalk. Where soon he might see 2 of these terrorist players. Flashbang does come out. Nobody home up close though. Rumbaba hears the footsteps, sees the Molly come out, and they might be making noise. They've done this a few times so far. Small expenditure of utility up by Catwalk, and they double over onto towards the lower B site, or lower B halls. Oh, looks like they're second guessing themselves now. They're going to be pushing up on this A site. 2 players holding up over... Oh, cow! Just heavily damages his teammate. Rumbaba spots the first, does not hit the shot, though. Deadshot gets the one from Carr. So Rumbaba's going to be put down. Deadshot going to be put down. Suddenly those double AWPs, they got absolutely nothing done. Heli's going to get the player rotating over by mid. You have a 2v3 now for Team iBuyFlower. Slow rotation, but the bomb has not been planted yet. Savage has to go over there and pick that up. He's going to be planning that for long. That's where Confusion is holding over there by ramp. Very good positioning for Team Ferocious Bear. Spots out the first, puts him down with a couple taps. And Savage is going to pick up the last kill. They are now on match point. They drew this back from, I believe it was 12-6 or 12-6 at the point. Like, iBuyFlower was looking really strong. And they're not looking strong in their buy right now. 2 M4s, a CZ. Actually, hey, he had a P250 before that, but decides to go for a CZ. Still had enough money for full utility. Let's see what he can do with this. Skywise, he's going to be the first point of contact. He's going to get backed off as they Molotov that off. 3 players coming in from long doors to the terrorist side. Ooh, Rumbaba getting tagged up through that smoke. They saw where those grenades are being thrown from. Bomb is picked up from T-spawn. It's going to be rotated over right now. Wheaties, he's going to push the smoke. Nope, he's going to back off. His footsteps may have been spotted. Heard, rather. He's going to Molotov that off. Decides not to go through the smoke as he did expect Deadshot or some player to be there. But Striker spotted it off. Man advantage now for Ferocious Bear. Once again, I reiterate, on match point. And for some reason, Auto Director went in the 3rd person. This is a new bug that I've been seeing. It's not just on my side. It happened on ESL the other day. Rumbaba answers it right back. Oh, down to 1 player. I'm going to call this right now. Unless Squid can pull off a small miracle. I think this is going to be in the hands of Ferocious Bear. Gets the jump off absolutely quickly. Gets himself a rifle. He has a kit, so it's not impossible. Let's see what he can do with it. Gives his position away. Bomb is planted for long, and he has no smokes. Even if he gets his first pick on Savage, who's holding over by Goose, he's got 2 players watching. One with an AWP from ramp, and no smoke, no flash, no nothing. Gets the first pick. But he is spotted. He gets the first kill! How? Fakes it. Tries to get this player. And can he hold it from this angle? Striker has to sweep wide, and Striker does get the kill. It's going to be 16-13 for Ferocious Bears. That was a really good match. I'm happy we saw a decent, even match up there on the first Dust 2 of this week. For Season 24, ESEA Open. And let's see, it is 6:30, so